One of the greatest fears we encounter when we venture into creative expression is the concern over whether what we have to offer is original enough to find an audience or if it's worth hearing. I have this conversation with every client. Some believe they have hit on the greatest things in sliced bread. Some question whether anyone will want to hear what they have to say. My constant refrain is that there's nothing new under the sun. But that does not mean you shouldn't be part of the conversation. Friedrich Nietzsche said, and I know I have the attribution right on this one, that fiction is the best vehicle for philosophical thought because story gives us something to connect to in order to understand the concept being put forth. Why is that, and how does it relate to the topic at hand? Well, I'll quote another one of my favorite writers here. Walker Percy said he believed that the role of fiction is to show man something of himself that he knows, but doesn't know he knows. I would say storytelling generally, not just fiction, but you get the idea. Since story helps us see ourselves in ways we might not have before, we need different versions because we're all different. An illustration that one person relates to is likely to be different from what another person will find resonant. That means that even if your idea isn't all that original, the way you present it can be. I like to say that the Bible is an anthology of the human condition. Every possible scenario we might encounter in life is reflected there. Sometimes we may see a model for what we should do, and sometimes it's a cautionary tale of what not to do. The point is, we've pretty much just been retelling these stories in one form or another since the beginning of time. We have archetypes for a reason. They consistently show up in society. We tend to adopt patterns as humans. Those patterns are relatable and identifiable when we see a character in a situation that feels familiar to us. That's why your version of the same old tale might hit differently for a new generation or a particular demographic. That's why it can be worth pursuing even if the scenario isn't new. For example, we've had heroes who go on epic journeys for as long as we've been able to tell stories. If we called the job done with Beowulf, we would never have had the chance to experience Buffy. Monster slayers of all shapes and sizes keep us engaged because we like knowing there is someone who can save us from our particular form of danger. Similarly, if we had considered the romance between Arthur and Guinevere to be the be-all, end-all, we wouldn't have been swept away by the love story of Wesley and Buttercup. No matter how jaded about relationship or how blissfully happy in partnership we might be, the possibility that love is real and lasting is an idea we cling to on some level. Maybe you won't write the next great American novel or break new ground in the self-help industry, but you might be the voice that one person needs to hear to finally grasp that elusive message that will make all the difference in their lives. Of course, that doesn't guarantee you'll find a wide audience, but it does mean you have the opportunity to expand and deepen your understanding of the topic you're covering. That's worth the effort. You will never hear me tell someone not to use their voice to express themselves and attempt to speak to other people who might find themselves in a similar situation or who might share similar interests. Your unique perspective is always worth exploring, even if it's just for you.